Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Friday. Hope all of you having a great end to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, there's a lot to look forward to tomorrow. Well, first things first, we got the Ryder Cup going on. That's always amusing, very entertaining to watch. But tomorrow, we know we got the big three. We got LSU Ole Miss, we got Alabama and the Georgia Bulldogs, and last but not least, the Oregon Duckies versus sorry, sucky, and irrelevant Penn State. You'll probably also notice on the channel, I've had some people tweeting at me, Matt, what's going on with the sweatshop, buddy? Only one video yesterday and you've yet to upload today? Hey, man, there hasn't been anything going on. It's been very quiet. I pride myself in this. I don't just want to throw up random slop, random videos that's going to waste your time. Although you guys want to see videos during the week, if there's nothing to make a video on, why I can't make a video? It's as simple as that. In other terms, let me dumb this down for Timothy and Bobby watching this video. Shout out to Timothy and Bobby. I'm never gonna force content. However, with that being said, I do want to talk about this Georgia and Alabama game just a little bit more before tomorrow. And by the way, I'm looking forward to this Seminole game tonight against Virginia. I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's competitive. Obviously, I got the Seminoles winning, but I want to see a good ball game. We also got TCU and Arizona State. I do believe, this video should be uploaded right at or maybe during the first half of the Florida State game. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the video itself. I wound up tweeting this out earlier, by the way. Feel free to follow the Twitter if you want. I give you updates on the channel. We talk ball over there. It's 100% free. I don't know why you wouldn't, but let me show you what I posted a few hours ago. I couldn't care less where game day goes, but every real college football fan knows what the game of the week is. It's not even close. If you disagree, just look at the viewership. Promise you, Alabama versus Georgia will have more viewers. What's really interesting about that is I didn't think this was like a controversial take or statement or anything like that. I thought I was stating the obvious, but apparently not. That stirred up quite a bit of controversy in the comment section. There was a lot of people saying, nah, Matt, you're tripping. It's Penn State, Oregon. No, Matt, that's ridiculous. They got to go to that game. It's undefeated, yada, yada, yada. You get what all the nerds are saying, right? Here's a good comment. It's got quite a bit of likes. This is why people talk about the SEC bias, not going to lie. Bama got their, we'll say crap, we'll mark that out, pushed in by Florida State. Nobody's denying that. I've been saying that since day one. And we're supposed to treat the matchup like a national championship game because it's Bama against Georgia? Nah. Penn State versus Oregon all day. Not to be a smart aleck or whatnot, but I never stated in that original post we should be treating the Alabama versus Georgia matchup like a national championship. Let's get that clear. The whole point of this post you're looking at right here was me saying, I don't care if game day's going to Oregon, Penn State. I didn't care if they would have went to LSU Ole Miss. We know what all the college football fans are looking forward to on Saturday. Alabama could be unranked. Doesn't matter. Who's going to have more viewers? Alabama and Georgia? I'm asking you a question, Timothy and Bobby. Or Oregon and Penn State? You can knock Alabama all you want. Say, Matt, they fell off. They got destroyed by it. It doesn't matter. I'm talking to you, Timothy and Bobby. You love, and you absolutely love, to hate watch Alabama. That's why it's the game of the week. I'm not even going to sit up here and use the argument of, oh, well, in the Southeast, duh, it's the much bigger game. No. Here's what I'm saying. I think people are missing the 8 ball with this. Penn State's irrelevant, number one, and Oregon, they haven't won a national. Have they ever won a national championship? Maybe I'm missing one, but not since I've been alive. Why do I, Matt B. Great, think Alabama and Georgia is such a big game? It is the game in college football because whoever wins this game, more times than not in recent history, has won the national championship. Do y'all know Georgia was winning 10 and 11 games per year with Mark Richt? You know why he got fired? Because he couldn't beat Alabama in the SEC championship. Alabama and Georgia the past 10 years have been the cream of the crop. They both have, I think it's 2 championships to be exact. Take a look at this comment. Saying this just for Bama to lose by 17 plus because you guys can't play on the road. You're missing the point. It doesn't matter if Alabama loses by 40. It's still the biggest game of the week. You know it, and I know it. I think it's ridiculous to think otherwise. I don't even know how you could say that Oregon and Penn State even comes close to Alabama and Georgia. Everybody and their mama not necessarily wants to see how Georgia's going to do because we know what to expect out of a Kirby Smart-led team, but they want to see how Alabama's going to respond. Sure, you've looked good against some cupcakes in Wisconsin, but we haven't seen you play a real deal opponent since the Seminoles. Everybody wants to see how Ty Simpson's going to perform. He's been lighting it up, by the way. I can't wait to see how he does. And last but not least, everybody wants to see how an Alabama team is going to perform on the road. It's more so of hate watchers, I'm telling you, are going to tune in than Bama fans and SEC fans. Here's what's interesting about hate watchers, because I hate watch too, so nobody knows a hate watcher better than myself. Have you ever seen someone really hate on Penn State? No. Why? Because they haven't won anything. You have to win something for people to hate on you in the first place. Why does everybody hate on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? Why does everybody root against them? Because they've won so many championships. We love to have a villain. Do you think people would be rooting against Mahomes and the Chiefs if they didn't win a Super Bowl? No, you'd be pulling for them. So when you look at the Oregon and Penn State matchup, I'm not really even excited for it because these teams haven't done anything when you're talking about national championships. So your average college football fan is going, oh yeah, I'd kind of like to see Oregon or Penn State pull one off because it's a good underdog story. But with Alabama and Georgia, completely different. When you're talking about recent history and two of the best programs in college football, it doesn't get any better than this. It doesn't. And outside of Alabama beating Georgia in the last 10 matchups, 9 out of 10 times, look at the games themselves. Oh my gosh, they always come down to the wire. First off, and these are just coming to my head, you had the walk-off Tua in 26. He throws it to the freshman Devontae Smith in the end zone. Then you had the heartbreaking, 2013, where Amari Cooper had the game, or not game-winning, but go-ahead touchdown. Then Aaron Murray, he's driving, trying to have his game-winning touchdown. Throws a pass, it gets tipped, receiver catches it in bounds, they have no timeouts, clock runs out. Alabama then goes on to crush Notre Dame in the championship, so Georgia easily would have won a championship that year if they would have beat Alabama. And then you had the one where Georgia's up by 14 points, Tua's hurt. They bring in the backup Jalen Hurts, he comes in, saves the day. Georgia's had so many heartbreaking losses, but still, they've been outstanding ball games. And even recently, look what happened last year. That was one of the best games you're ever going to watch. I don't even know how you could argue and say there's a better matchup, not just in college football, but in sports in general, outside of Alabama and Georgia when it comes to college football. I'm trying to think. I don't even know it would be a close second. Maybe if Michigan and Ohio State was playing the same week as this game, we'd have a different argument because that's been really good the past few years. But outside of that, no. Nothing comes close to Alabama, Georgia. Let me address this. There's so many people saying this. Well, Matt, Penn State and Oregon's a better matchup. It is on paper. I literally said it word for word. I don't even care where game day goes. I don't even really watch game day anymore. I don't know why people are having a hard time grasping this. I am just stating the game of the week is Alabama and Georgia. Moving past that, that's not the only reason I'm making this video. I do want to talk about the game itself. Let's talk about Alabama a little bit. I had somebody ask me this earlier when I was in public. I said, you know what, that is a good topic, and I should probably talk about this in the video we're going to film today, which I'm filming right now. Matt, what happens if Kalen DeBoer in Alabama loses this game, even if it's close? Are they going to be, and when I say they, the fans wanting to fire Kalen DeBoer, or what do you think? For starters, my immediate reaction to that is I think it's absurd to say, oh yeah, you should fire Kalen DeBoer after losing, we'll say, a 7-point game to the Georgia Bulldogs on the road in Athens, Georgia. But here's where things get interesting, and the question is, I guess, too vague. It depends how Alabama looks. If they go out there and they look like they did against the Seminoles, I think most certainly you can start up the conversation of, oh yeah, they got to fire Kalen DeBoer. Me and other Alabama fans out there weren't upset that we lost to Florida State. We're upset with how we lost to Florida State. There's a big difference. When you have players lollygagging on the field, the team was unprepared, can't tackle, just terrible execution all in all, to make a long story short. That is what's frustrating. That is why you can point the finger at the head coach and go, you know what? Maybe he's not the guy. But let's say, for the sake of this video, hypothetically speaking, Alabama goes in there, they execute well, Georgia just outperforms them, they lose a close game. Then no, I don't think as an Alabama fan you should be feeling bad about your team and say, oh, we got to fire Kalen DeBoer. That's being delusional. I will play devil's advocate. What isn't being delusional is if players aren't executing, you're getting flags left and right, you're having mental mistakes and errors, then we got a different conversation on our hands. But if Alabama goes in there, plays a good ball game, and this is a thing, guys, in sports, you can play good and still lose, I think Bama fans, they shouldn't be happy, but they should be content. It boils down to this. It's all about how Alabama looks. Or I'll give you another example now I'm thinking about it. If Ty Simpson goes out there, wets the bed, throws 4 interceptions, can you blame Kalen DeBoer if he throws a pick 6 or 2? No, that's not the coaching staff's fault. But why you could blame Kalen DeBoer after the Florida State game is because Ty Simpson actually was a bright spot of that team, and he played good against Florida State. He had 0 turnovers. Outside of winning and losing the game, that's something to pay attention to, how this Alabama team looks on offense and on defense. Are they going to be the hunter or the hunted? I can assure you one thing, that's why we're not talking about them too much, because we know what to expect. That Kirby Smart team, they're going to be hunting. Mark it down. Kalen DeBoer's teams have looked very bad on the road. Not just bad, very bad. Hopefully, this can be the turning point, and maybe he can change some things. Let's say Alabama loses, though, and it's not really bad. Like, you don't leave it going, okay, look, Kalen DeBoer, he coached awful. It's just a solid 7 to 10 point loss. Alabama wouldn't fire him, but here's where things heat up. You know who Alabama plays next week? Vanderbilt, and they have one of the best quarterbacks, not just in the SEC, but in the nation, in Diego Pavia. I don't even have to remind you of him. If you're a Bama fan, you know who he is. You know what he did to you last year. I don't want to talk about this scenario too much, but even if Alabama loses this game, that's only one loss in the SEC. So not only are you just not eliminated from playoff contention, because 2 losses to Georgia and Florida State, that's not going to eliminate you. But that's only 1 loss in the SEC. You can still win that conference. Alabama's currently 2-1 on the season. Would it look really weird and bad for Alabama to be 2-2 heading into their 5th game? Yes, but even at that, your season's not over with a 12-team playoff. Let's talk about Georgia a little bit before I end out this video. We'll say, for the sake of this video, what if you lose? I'd hate it for them. Gosh, I feel bad for their fan base, really do. Another heartbreaker to Alabama. I don't know how Georgia fans feel. Let me know in the comment section, but I don't even think we can sit up here and act like Georgia fans would be shocked if they lost another game to Alabama. They've seen it all. I think this is the best way to describe it. Georgia fans are being cautiously optimistic about this game. Rightfully so. Haven't seen a lot of trash talk on Twitter, and that is because they've been humbled. It's not that, oh, they're being humble. No, they've been humbled before by Alabama multiple times. They know what Alabama's going to do in this game. They don't care if Alabama was 0-11 heading into this ball game. They know not to take them lightly. I think the Georgia fan base is respecting Alabama as much as you can respect an opponent, and I think the coaching staff and players are doing the same. But if Georgia loses this game, there's not really a lot to talk about because you're not going to fire your head coach. The season's not over. It's only 1 loss. Heck, you lost to Alabama last year, made the playoff easily. But it would be weird in Athens, Georgia, because those fans are tired of Alabama. They're sick and tired of them, beyond it. No matter who wins, hopefully we get a good game. I expect it to be good. I did want to talk about this a little bit. Let me know your thoughts down below. But